Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. I'm Sean Kimbaloya, Channel Television's global headquarters in Lagos. We cannot say for sure that the 2019 elections are done with. All the governorship elections have been concluded and winners return, except for your usual suspect, Rivers State. The governorship election in that state was forced suspended due to security issues and the drama that played out. The exercise was suspended, and then the legal obstructions came, and now the electoral umpire says it will begin collation of the result on Tuesday, the 2nd of April till the 5th of April 2019. Over the last week or so, there was a stakeholders meeting held in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, over the preparations with the politicians and other critical partners in the exercise ahead of Tuesday's collation exercise. The meeting did not go without some drama. Watch.
The gentleman right at the back. Stand.
Good afternoon.
Excuse me. Can you please be respectful of each other? No, you are going to be respectful of each other. Even if it's rude, you don't have to be rude.
Well, there were more to this drama, but because of time, let's move ahead to the conversation of tonight. So the nation will be looking forward to the collation, but how ready is INEC and the security ahead of the exercise? Let's speak with the electoral umpire now, Mr. Mustafa Lekki. He's a national commissioner with INEC, and he joins us from our Abuja studio to give some clarity on what is going to happen on Tuesday. It's just about 2 days to that time, and what are the plans for INEC for the exercise in conclusion of River State governorship election. Mr. Mustafa Lekki, thank you so much for coming on the program tonight. Let's perhaps begin. River State, you said you will continue or you will start collation of the result. Tell us the latest. There was a stakeholders meeting on Thursday or so. Tell us the latest ahead of Tuesday.
Thank you, Sheol. The stakeholder meeting took place yesterday and was widely reported, and it has its own drama, like you had flagged, earlier on. What is going to happen is that tomorrow, the commission will issue the guideline for the timetable will issue for the guideline for the collation, which will itself start from the 2nd, which is the following day on Tuesday, until the 5th of April. Hopefully, all the collation that needs to be done will be, concluded. As you are aware, there are a number of results that are available for a number of at least about 17 or so local government areas, and those ones will be collated accordingly. Before then, INEC had issued a timeline of activity, which started from the 19th of the month, in which we engage with the security agency at the national level. I was there, and the member of the commission were all there. We had a meeting with the Federal Police, the NSA, and top echelon of security apparatus in Nigeria to discuss this matter extensively. And I think we're ready. Everybody is clear as to what their role should be, and the boundaries have been set. And we believe that it will be a pleasant experience going to Rivers and collating the available results and resetting for areas where there will definitely be some supplementary election after the collation of the results from the 2nd to the 5th. And thereafter, a date will be set, probably like on the 13th, where the supplementary election will take place in those areas where there were no elections. And then this will be collated and should be concluded by the 19th of April, where the certificate of return will be issued to those who emerged from the various elections that will have taken place in Rivers as we go forward. So that is a broad outline in terms of what are the set of activities that we expect to see in the next few days.
Mr. Lekki, it does look from what the explanation that you have given that INEC has had a sort of a schedule for this exercise. But the big question is, if you've noticed, and we have reported here on Channel Television, the incidents that have happened in Rivers State over the past days. There have been protests on both sides of the divide. In fact, some of the parties that their names are not on the ballot are concerned about the situation of things. The concern of some of the parties are that conclude the exercise by collating the result. Some are saying that there are other places where election didn't eventually, voting didn't conclude on the election day. What are you listening to those concerns, or what exactly is INEC listening to in this regard?
Well, as you know, we've had a meeting with the stakeholders, and as we also announced, in about 17 or so local governments, we have the results, and this will be collated starting from the 2nd through the 5th of April. Clearly, there are areas where there are no elections didn't take place. And in those areas, INEC will go back and reset those elections to happen. As we expect in every stakeholder meetings, there will be bickering because there's an inter-party, bickering will always happen. But we're going to have to forge ahead because we must bring this thing to a final conclusion. We have a constitutional time limit. We cannot go beyond April 30th to conclude everything that has to do with the 2019 general election. Because a month from there, by May 30th, all the eligible people would have been sworn in to take over, office for the next, after this general election. So everybody knows the time, and we're all time bound. We must respect the Constitution and so that we do, the right thing. There have been a number of hues and cry. People have criticized, INEC for what it has done or what they think it has not done. But I think that it's always very easy to criticize, even among the political parties and other stakeholders. They need to be on the same seat with INEC and to see a profile solution. One of the biggest issues is the issue of INEC and the security agencies. The INEC needs to take control of the security agency. I mean, really, some of all these things are unrealistic. I don't know what instrumentalities or leverage, the INEC commission or the chairman will have to handle the security agencies in Nigeria and begin to order them, around. People have made comments about this election is the worst since 2003. I've had people who are stakeholders, like CSOs, who themselves lack internal governance in their own, organization, are criticizing INEC that this is the worst, election they've had since 2003. I mean, I find this very outlandish. When even some of these CSOs themselves do not have internal governance. The same people have been there since 2003, 2011, and they are still there and using this to promote themselves and make all these outlandish sort of profile solution. How do you really expect INEC to take control of security apparatus? We don't really need security as much, if not because of the fact that our elections are violence-proof. I mean, really, in other clans, elections are civil responsibility. They are peaceful elections. People go there even on weekdays to vote and go back to their offices without any incident. But because of the way we find ourselves, we find that we are amassing security to come and play a role which they really are ill-prepared and should not even be invited to play. So I think we need to look at all these things and have a very frank discussion with people trying to use these things to lambast INEC and say, promote themselves and the organizations going forward.
There's been some concerns about the way and manner the collation will go, and perhaps what could be a possible end of that. Give us a picture of how the collation will happen. It's only for the governorship, the governorship result, isn't it? And how perhaps would you allow the agents, and how many of the agents you will be allowing? These are some of the questions raised by some of the stakeholders because of the security situation involved, especially for Rivers.
Shown in our outline of timeline of activities, we also indicated that a number of agents and observers who are interested will be recertified to participate in this process going forward until it's finally concluded. So anybody who's interested has been certified before are welcome to come back and participate. That is even ongoing now as we speak. And even the candidate themselves, the governor or anybody, they can be their self-agent. But they need to inform the commission so that they are documented to participate as observers in this election. So that's what is going to happen. It is open. Any stakeholder that feel they need to participate or observe the election have been encouraged, they have been invited. That process is ongoing as we speak, and they can apply and they'll be certified to participate, in a very transparent manner and see how the election is going to be done. The collation is going to be done in a central location where all the results will be collated and announced publicly. I expect there will be good security who knows their boundary, will participate in this process. And at the end, there will be declaration over a period of, once we start the election, maybe by the 13th, between 13, 14, and 15, there will be declaration of the winners. And thereafter, certificate of return will be issued to those who won by the 19th of April. And that will be the conclusion of the results.
Some of the information that we have about how the kind of security presence around the INEC office in Rivers State. If you have that, some of the pictures that we have, where a lot of criticism have come on the security in Rivers State, the role of the military, what happened between the police and the military. That's a major question that has come onto the table as whether or not INEC has been able to resolve this issue, because you are the lead partner in the election, and the criticism that have come with in the role of some of the military officers. What has INEC come out with in terms of your investigation in the role of some of the military officers?
Well, as you know, Sheon, the whole country knows that once we were informed and became aware of what was going on in Rivers State, we quickly sent a fact-finding mission to Rivers so that we know exactly what is going on. And they came back with a report. And they were very clear about the situation as they found it. And the report was very useful in guiding the next step. That's why INEC applied a number of activities, including promptly meeting with the top echelon of security agencies in this country, like I mentioned earlier. And from there, we had a very frank discussion, setting the boundaries and the rules of engagement. So I expect that that was a very good meeting. And everybody is taking the received wisdom back to their various agencies to ensure that some of the lapses that were observed, and these are debatable issues, clearly. I mean, everybody has his own side of the issue. That's a different conversation which we are going to have going forward, because this is not the end of the process. There will be a post-election evaluation of every aspect of this electoral process, including security arena, lessons to be learned, and those to be implemented going forward. So right now, our main concern is to focus on concluding this 2019 general election. And Rivers is the last bit of this relay. So we need to just conclude this early enough by middle of this month so that we can meet our constitutional responsibility. So that is the focus. So other matters will arise regarding every aspect. Those who either came to polling units with thugs, or those military people who may have done certain things that were unwarranted, all these matters need to be owned up and addressed frankly so that we can get to the bottom of the matter. It's not a matter that we can do right now as we are trying to go back to Rivers and conclude this election for 2019.
Are you saying, because a lot of people who were involved in that election and who saw what played out and who did what and who did not do the right thing, you need to clarify to us, what will be the role of the military? Is military going to be involved at all in this exercise? And the police, you've not told us the outcome of your investigation about what transpired. I know the commissioner made a statement, but it wasn't conclusive at the time you made the statement. But what was the outcome of that, your investigation? And will the military be participating in this exercise at all?
Well, this going forward to conclude the elections in Rivers State, it's not going to be a major departure from the existing security engagement. We have a security, platform in which we meet with all the security agencies. We have met with them. We have clarified some of the issues and lessons learned from the previous election, of March 9th or so on going forward. So the military will remain in the periphery. I mean, we have seen violence, we have seen thugs that have invaded our polling units. We have seen cases outside of Rivers, we have seen cases in Rivers. And you know that the security at the polling units are not armed. And we have seen videos of unarmed policemen trying to disarm thugs that have come to polling units. I mean, I don't understand what, I will know that the military are in the periphery. So we need to just respect our various roles, all the different arms of security, the police, the armed forces themselves who are in the periphery. So that peripheral role of the armed forces, in the case of any violent attack, remains. That is not going to change because we have seen the character of our elections going forward. So this will happen. People just need to respect their roles and play them diligently and faithfully as good citizens and good representatives of their various organizations. That's what is going to happen. We're not dismantling anything. The architecture is perfect, but people just need to not step beyond their bounds. That's what people need to do, and not to be provoked also. And if those who have thugs, they should keep their thugs in check so that they don't come there and create a situation that will warrant overzealous maybe security men in trying to take laws into their hands. I think that is what is going to happen.
Okay,
forward.
so
The architecture remains the same.
But on a final note, Mr. Lekki, the assurances that a lot of Nigerians are expecting is from INEC, whether everything is okay. What are your final words on the program tonight as regarding Rivers election? That the collation will begin on Tuesday.
The collation will be going on Tuesday from the 2nd to the 5th. That's how it is planned. I'm sure that was discussed yesterday at the stakeholder meeting. I don't think anybody will disagree with that. We need to bring this election to a conclusion. This 2019 election that is still lingering. So that needs to come to an end. And INEC has issued a timeline of activities. We have also even issued supplementary guidelines and regulations that will help us to get a better handle of this election to conclude it. So I expect that by the 13th or thereabout, we have concluded this election, and then certificates of return will be issued to the constituencies in Rivers State, bringing it to an end so that we do not run into a situation where we have constitutional crisis and this thing lingers beyond the 30 days that is required between the end of the election and the swearing in of the incoming administration. I just want to appeal that to Nigerians, particularly our partners in the media and CSO, that they need to be a bit more circumspect in terms of the things that they say about INEC. I mean, it's not that we cannot take criticism, but they should be realistic in what they expect that the commission should do. When they themselves, in their various organizations, you do not have internal democracy. Election is a big issue in Nigeria. No matter what the entity is, even town unions and organizations, they have quarrels among themselves just to do election. I don't know what it is. So we need to reset, sit back and decide on how we go. So it even includes CSO, includes the NBA, so many organizations you go through. There's must be something about election in Nigeria. People like offices too much. They want to do or die and stay in their offices. But that being said, INEC is an umpire. We believe we are playing our role very well. This election, as far as I'm concerned, has been good. It's been there have been a few hiccups, here and there. I will not judge it as some people have wanted to say that this is the worst election since 2003. I think that is clearly overstating, something that is clearly false, So going forward, we should relax. We are going to bring this to a conclusive end in a very short while, not later than the middle of this month, so that we can put the 2019 election beyond us, except to now look forward to a post-mortem on what happened so that we can re-inform and re-energize the electoral reform going forward and change some of the things that we do in this country for a more pleasant and more purposeful election for the future. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mustafa Lekki, it's a pleasure having you, National Commissioner of INEC. Thank you so much for talking to us on the program tonight.